Joining us tonight to discuss the ongoing standoff in Texas, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, Hans von Spakovsky. It's great to see you again. Senator John Cornyn said today the FBI director has agreed to help track down Texas Democratic lawmakers who left the state. Why would the FBI be getting involved? On what grounds?
Well, because the law in Texas and the rules established by the House the last time Democrats ran out of the state, which was 2021, they put in rules making it a crime, in essence, for legislators to do that. They can issue arrest warrants, they can be fined $500 a day, and the FBI routinely helps states when they issue arrest warrants for any and all kinds of state and local crimes if that individual has absconded from the state. So the way to think about this isn't any different than if someone, robbed a bank or did something else. The state issued an arrest warrant and asked the FBI to help them find that particular fugitive. Yeah, it's a little bit different in state legislators, but there's nothing unusual about this.
The most recent case I can think of lawmakers boycotting a redistricting session was in Oregon, mostly Republicans in that case in 2021, Hans. What makes the Texas boycott different?
Well, the Texas boycott, I think, is different because of the fact that there are now rules and regulations in place saying they can't leave the state and abscond. But here's the other big difference. What Texas is doing is the result of a warning letter sent to them by the Department of Justice, telling them that 4 of the congressional districts that they drew up in 2021 are unconstitutional racial gerrymanders. So in other words, they broke the law when they drew up those particular districts. That's all the result of a decision by the Fifth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals that happened at the end of last year. So the state is trying to correct an unlawful redistricting plan that the Justice Department has told them they have to do. That makes this very different. This isn't just, political gerrymandering, which is what was going on in Oregon. This is trying to correct a violation of federal law.
The timing of it all is also interesting. You mentioned the DOJ. Amid the redistricting fight, there was also, as you know, a nationwide effort by the DOJ to clean voter rolls. How prevalent is election fraud, according to your research? And also, does the effort to clear these voter rolls, does that go far enough, in your opinion, to prevent it?
It's one of the biggest steps that needs to occur. There are many states that unfortunately do not do what they need to do to make sure that their voter rolls are accurate. And if you don't have accurate voter rolls, if you have people on there, for example, who have died or moved out of state, and you don't have, for example, ID requirements, which is like California, New York, and other states, it makes it easy to commit fraud. And how prevalent is it? Well, it happens often enough that we should be concerned about it, particularly because so many elections in this country are decided by a very small number of states. The election fraud database we maintain just broke 1,600 proven cases from across the country, and that's not even a comprehensive list. That's basically a sampling of cases we've been able to find.
And these are just 2 big political fights that we are watching ahead of the midterms, which will be here before you know it. Hans von Spakovsky, thank you for joining us tonight on the National News Desk.
Sure, thanks for having me.